Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Today I have back with me one new guest and one returning guest. The new guest is Dr. Vishwanath of Hindu Seva Kendram. He is based in the United States, and the returning guest is Kerala Shivaji, also known as Pratheesh Vishwanath. And Pratheesh has been on our channel before, and he's also from Hindu Seva Kendram. We're going to be talking about what are the challenges Hindus are facing in Kerala today. And believe me, a lot of challenges, and we are going to discuss a few things today. It might come into a two-part or a three-part series as time goes. It depends upon how you react to this. You need to understand things are changing drastically in Kerala. I've been saying this for a long time, but you will hear from the ground what is happening. So let's welcome our guests, Dr. Vishwanath and Pratheesh Vishwanath ji. Welcome to you, gentlemen. How are you?
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Jai Sri Ram. Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Sri Ram. And viewers, I was talking to Dr. Vishwanath recently, and we were talking about his efforts in trying to get a lot of things accomplished on the ground in Kerala. And to some of you may not know what Hindu Seva Kendram is. So I'm going to yield to Dr. Vishwanath and let him talk a little bit about what Hindu Seva Kendram stands for, what it has done so far, and what are the challenges it is facing. Over to you, Dr. Vishwanath.
Thank you, Ayerji. Hindu Seva Kendram, in a nutshell, is a grassroots level, micro level institution set up to help Hindu Dharma survive in the state of Kerala. There are a lot of Hindu organizations in Kerala. For many years, they've been working on the ground. But we found, by simple, unbiased observation, that Hindu Dharma is in a state of steady decline in Kerala. So, people like Pratheesh Vishwanath had analyzed this situation very closely and came to the conclusion that something new had to be done. The current setup of activism is not turning the tide around. So he came up with this formula that we have to go to the grassroots and establish a new system of Hindu Seva, which will complement all other existing Hindu organizations. In other words, not going against any other Hindu entity. We are going to fill the gaps on the ground and support Dharma. Therefore, Hindu Seva Kendram was born. It is a panchayat-based movement. It is a registered charity. It aims to establish one Hindu Seva Kendram in every panchayat in Kerala. Close to 1,000 panchayats in Kerala. And every Hindu Seva Kendram will keep its eye open to every Hindu in the panchayat and help them with any kind of need, whatever they can do to help. And they will become self-sufficient, and they will keep Dharma alive in that particular panchayat. And when every panchayat does the same work, Hindus will get help, Hindus will become confident, Hindus will become prosperous, and they will also become protected. So going from Seva to Samriddhi to Suraksha, that is our basic motto. You start with Seva, and through Seva you get to Samriddhi of the Hindus, and from Samriddhi you get to Suraksha. So that is our basic motto, and that's the way we have been working for the last 3.5 years.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vishwanath. When we were talking last time, you talked about specific instances where even simple things are being used to convert people, and how Hindu Seva Kendram stepped in to try and arrest that and keep the faith together. Would you like to expand a little bit on some of the one or two examples of Hindu Seva Kendram where they have seen these kinds of subtle ways in which conversion is attempted?
Conversion is present all around us in Kerala. Conversion of a Hindu is always based on some crisis in his or her life. Or Hindus are human beings just like Christians and Muslims and the leftists. We also get problems. We also have stresses in life. But the difference between a Hindu and a non-Hindu is when a Hindu gets stressed, either financially or emotionally or in whichever way, when they have a crisis, there is no social safety net. There is no social support system. Therefore, a Hindu is easily pushed into a danger zone whenever there is a crisis in his or her life. And when any crisis happens, there are people sitting around him ready to approach him with some kind of help which will lead to conversion. And I'm quoting Pratheesh, what he said years ago, that every Hindu house has a door which is usually closed. It's called the door of conversion. And any time there is a crisis in that family, that door begins to open.
Yes.
And then the players will come in. So it may be as simple as a girl who cannot go to school or go to higher education because she can't afford it, or a poor Hindu family where a daughter's marriage is engagement is done, but the wedding cannot be conducted because the family doesn't have enough money to conduct even a simple wedding. Or it may be that the breadwinner of the family has some kind of an illness or loses his job, and all of a sudden the family is in crisis. Or the head of the household passes away and they don't have enough money to even do a proper funeral. So this kind of crisis, which can happen to any family anytime, when it happens to a Hindu family, especially a poor Hindu family, that will lead to conversion. And we have thousands of such instances where our Hindu helpline has been able to intervene immediately and help that family come through the crisis with the support from the general Hindu community. And when we do each one of these, we are avoiding a conversion, not just conversion of an individual, conversion of the whole family. So it can be anything, any crisis. The classic example is hunger. There are so many families, hundreds of thousands of them have been converted just because they couldn't afford or they didn't have enough food to feed the children. Or as something as simple as a wedding, they had to buy one Mangal Sutra or one cotton sari and maybe a feast for 50 people, one set of new clothes for the father and mother and the brother or something like that. And they can't afford it. And then other religions, typically the church, will step in and say that they will conduct the marriage, they will help. And then the next thing you know, the whole family is converted.
These are all the subtle ways in which conversion is happening, folks. And I just wanted to take one example and to tell you and how there is a lot of work that needs to be done on the ground. And those of us who have succeeded economically, we tend to leave the country. It's a great effort that Dr. Vishwanath has come back to, going back to his roots and trying to get this movement off the ground. And now I'd like to ask Pratheesh one question. Pratheesh, the last time we had a conversation, I don't know if you remember this, you mentioned that a 35-year-old Hindu boy, he's about to get married. He goes to his Muslim classmate to give the wedding invitation, and the Muslim classmate is already a grandfather. So
Yes.
this is one of the primary reasons how the proportionality of the Muslims in Kerala went up like this. And Pratheesh, talk to us today about the demographic change in Kerala. The last I heard, and these numbers are 2-3 years old, that if you look at new child births, it is 44 Hindus, 42 Muslim, and the rest are Christians and others. I hope that has not become worse now. Talk to us a little bit about the demographic change, because I have a lot of follow-up questions on this. And over to you, Pratheesh.
Thanks, Iyerji. Once again, I am returning after, I think, Ramlala came back home. So, thanks and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram, sir.
So, the demographic change, not only in Kerala and India, it is changing drastically. But in Kerala, especially last time when we discussed, it was about 2011 census and 2018 statistics of the central government. 2011 census was clearly saying that it was 44% of birth rates by Hindus and 40% Muslims. 2018 it is changed, now it is 43% Muslim and 40% Hindus. Now the latest 2021-22 data is showing live births of Kerala 49% Muslims, and out of that 30% of live births are from one district, that is Malappuram. This is the scenario in Kerala. So demographic change is very drastic, and the death rate, if you go to death rate, 62% Hindus and 18% Muslims, the death rate in Kerala. So demographic change is going to be in a big crisis in Kerala. As usual, entire world, the peacefuls do. The same thing is going to happen in Kerala. They are trying to take over the country through changing the demography, because it's a democratic country. Changing the demography will change the democracy also. That's what happening right now. Kerala, it is coming little faster, and the other area of India is also not much difference. That is also slowly coming into, unless we have a strong, hard measures taken by the government to control the population. It is going to be very big issue in coming days.
Thank you so much, Pratheesh ji. That sets the context for us. I have been hearing a lot of things. One of the things, again, see, there is some good news and there is some not so good news. I want our viewers to be understanding both those things. First, I'm going to start with good news, and Pratheesh ji and Dr. Vishwanath ji will expand on that. The good news I'm hearing is that many Muslim women are coming back to Sanatana Dharma, what is called as Paravartanam. Talk to us a little bit about that. What are the reasons why Muslim women are coming back to Sanatana fold?
Muslim women are coming back to Sanatan fold, not in big number, but the flow is started because they are seeing the world right now through the internet and the other way around, and they are started compelling what is happening around, how we are suppressing like this, how much of thing problem they are facing in their house and families and nearby ecosystem. So so many Muslim women is getting courage to coming back to Hinduism, but still the problem is because of the fear factor, they are not able to come in a mass way. I think after triple talaq, there is a drastic change in the mindset of Muslim women. So as per my experiences, last 15 years, nearly more than 8,000 to 8,200 Muslim women embraced Hinduism only in Kerala. It's through our channel. Maybe in other channel also some must have come, but most of them are through our channel. So there is a urge for freedom and experiencing the freedom, and coming to the and join to the mainstream society. And for that, their first option is Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, because that's a natural thing which is already in their DNA. So it is not something new for them. It's only breaking the fear factor and giving them proper protection and legal assistance and atmosphere. Then I think this flow will increase in a drastic way.
Thank you so much, Pratheesh. Dr. Vishwanath, I'll come to you. I'll ask you the same question, sir. See, when a woman in the family decides to do Paravartanam, then what happens to the children? Have you have done about 8,000 different cases? Can you expand a little bit on that, throw a little bit of light on how things take place in the family itself?
Well, I think your question is asking about the family dynamics.
Yes.
I mean, typically, I think the earlier a woman comes into Hinduism, the better. Because as a woman matures, have children, and the children begin to grow up, then the amount of influence she can exert on her older children diminishes, in my opinion. Unlike a young woman, or ideally a woman who is not married yet. So converting, or when a married woman wants to come back to Hinduism, the chances of all her children following the path she took is not 100%, in my opinion. Pratheesh, do you have anything to add?
One thing I need to add, because most of the women converted from Islam to Hinduism through our network, or as per my experiences, most of them are unmarried. But even then, some cases are already there, 5 to 7% in their family reconverted to Hinduism. That is also there. But most of the girls are unmarried.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Vishwanath, I heard this very strange information that amongst the fertility clinics in Kerala, there are hardly any Muslim women visiting them. Now, by law of averages, right, we are all from the same gene pool. If you go back 80,000 years ago, there was a volcanic eruption, a place called 𝗣𝗽𝗿 in Indonesia, and the ash was directed towards India. And 5 meters of ash buried most of the continent. Only 10,000 people survived. Most of them are believed to have, this is 80,000 years ago. Most of them are believed to have been what is today Kashmir Valley, because the Himalayas could shield some of this ash from coming. And from there, we all came. So basically, what I'm trying to say is the DNA is the same, whether it is a Hindu woman or a Christian woman or a Muslim woman. Yet, the fertility clinics consistently report that there are hardly any Muslim women coming to the fertility clinics. Why is it so?
Well, this is a pertinent question, Iyerji. I don't think there is any scientific study on it, but I have colleagues and friends who are gynecologists and obstetricians and work in, infertility clinics. It's actually an infertility clinic, not a fertility clinic. And I heard those doctors say privately that they rarely see any patients coming from this particular faith. Now, the reasons are very hard to gauge, even though a lot of people have different theories. The common theory we all say is, girls who are born into this particular religion, they get married very early. And, the earlier a woman becomes sexually active, the more fertile she is. So when somebody becomes sexually active in their early teens, so they are going to be able to procreate more. So during their fertile period of life, they will obviously be able to have more children. That is the common explanation I heard about it. But there is enough anecdotal evidence from doctors who work in infertility clinics that what you stated is true, that there is very few patients from this particular religion who attend those clinics.
So, viewers, we are not telling you the obvious truth here, okay? And there is a reason for not telling that, because we want you all to think, connect the dots, 2 dots. Why are women coming back to Hinduism? Second, why are there no Muslim women going to the fertility clinics? What could be the reason? And Pratheesh, would you like to add something to this? Because you are again on the person on the ground. I have heard some stories, but I would rather you tell us what you have heard, and then I will share some of my experiences, my stories with you, and then we can kind of compare notes. Over to you, sir.
No, the doctor has already mentioned about the scientific and medical part of it. But I think there is a major thing is that one is the early marriages, and even not only early marriages, including child marriages are happening in Islam. So that is the one reason. And the second reason is see, if a Hindu couple, there is a problem with their fertility or infertility, they are going to the doctor is a normal thing. But there, in a Muslim family, there is so many options, because it is not stick to one wife or something like that. There is so many options for them, and there is everything is connected to religion. Not that your food is connected to religion, your sex is connected to religion, and your dress is connected to religion. Everything is connected to religion. So science and other things come later, because it's normally, if you see, we can compare it as a desert tribal survival activities. So if you are going to analyze it scientifically, I think it will be difficult to get a logical conclusion on this.
I think we are still kind of beating around the bush. Viewers, I want you to keep, jog your memory a little bit. Remember the space bowler called 𝗤𝗎𝗍𝗻? He's separated from his wife. Have you guys read the reason why his wife separated from him? Have you read that thing?
Yes.
I would like all of us to read that. I mean, viewers, I think, because you go on the web, you will find out, unless he has gone to great extent to sanitize it. Pratheesh ji, have you heard of this case? 𝗤𝗎𝗍𝗻, the pace bowler?
Yes.
You know what his wife said, right?
Yes. She has done a press conference also.
She has done a press conference. So viewers, what is that press conference where she revealed a few things is not at all unusual. Okay. And that is where all these things come back. Why Muslim women want to come back to Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism? Why there are no Muslim women going to infertility clinics? There is a fundamental change in the mindset that needs to happen. In the case of 𝗤𝗎𝗍𝗻, I think his wife had, been a city person, found it very strange when that request came. I know Pratheesh ji, Dr. Vishwanath. I know. See, I've lived in old Hyderabad. I'm from Hyderabad, and I know the stories that have come around, and it's much more common than what we want to accept. Because once you connect the dots there, then let's say there are three boys in a family. One is getting difficult to, one is not able to impregnate. You connect the dots, guys. See, why this is all important is, first of all, there is a asymmetricity. One male, 4 females. 4 times they can marry. And if they want to marry more, you can, divorce one and marry one more time. And they're all marrying young. And like I told you to start with, Pratheesh ji and he talked about a 35-year-old Hindu male, because by the time he has got his house, his flat, his 2 BHK, 3 BHK or something, a small car, he's already 35. So this is the other problem that you have. But Malappuram that Pratheesh ji mentioned really scares me. One district, what are they going to do? Is it going to burst out of seams? What is going on? So Pratheesh ji, how do we explain the population explosion in Malappuram?
I want to add one more example regarding these things. We have got a call from one Muslim girl from Malappuram district. It's called Manjeri, whereas the Popular Friend Training Center was there in the same place. And she asked for help and she wanted to come out from the home and all those things. Then we have inquired and we sent our karyakartas. Then she said, my marriage is over just 3 months back, and I'm not able to live here because so much of atrocities are there, harassments are there. Can you help us? I am ready to come out of Islam. So, and then we have taken her out and she converted to Hinduism. Now she's in Ernakulam with our safe house, in the safe house only. But she said so many things like that, the family atrocities, how they are torturing and how the harassment is happening, and such calls. This is a rare thing. Why I'm quoting is normally Muslim girl is telling you some Hindus, and then they are asking our help or requesting our help. That was the scenario. Now that is changed. 3-4 months, we got some such same instances, 2-3 instances, like Muslim girls directly calling to our helpline and seeking the help. There is a change in this, so it is going to explode in coming years. That's why I feel, because earlier they were going with the ex-Muslim movement for a safety, getting into legal protection or like that. Now people are started directly coming and asking help from Hindu activists and trying to embrace Hinduism as early as possible. And they feel that being a Hindu is giving them freedom and safety. So that is the one instances I wanted to share. And second thing, the population is Malappuram. Malappuram is exporting this population and exporting human resource to all other districts in Kerala. If you go to any districts from Trivandrum to Kasaragod, you can see the people from Malappuram are settling down. And now it is going to be big. Kasaragod is already 44% Muslim. Wayanad is already crossing 40% Muslim. Calicut is already crossed 40% Muslim. So the entire Malabar, and now it is spreading to south also. So demographical change is going to be a very big issue in Kerala, and worse than Kashmir is going to be the biggest threat for India also, only because of this demographical change.
Thank you, Pratheesh. And last question for both of you gentlemen. See, Kerala politics, especially the state governments, it used to be always one front, then the next front will come, then the first front will come, then the second front. It used to go seesaw, one back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But what we saw was the Pinarayi Vijayan government, even though they lost 2 years before that, completely decimated in Lok Sabha elections in 2019. In 2021, they came back with a thumping majority. What explains this phenomenon, Pratheesh ji? And Dr. Vishwanath ji, I'll come to you right after he answers this question.
There was a change. Earlier, there was a political, clear-cut political oriented elections and the politics in Kerala. Now it is completely religious oriented politics. So if you, I think, like communists said, that the 5th generation of atheism, 5th generation of communism is very near to one God concept, and that means to Islam. So entire world, the scenario, left intellectuals are adopting that narrative and that scenario, and it is manifesting in Kerala. Unlike in China, it is manifesting in Kerala. There was a secret alliance between the left liberals, left ecosystem and Islamists. Now, since 2016 elections, the alliance came out openly and politically also. And it is going to be, I think, very stronger in coming days. The after effect of this, to appease the Islamists, appease the jihadis, the communist government started grilling Hindu activists. Communist government started taking the steps against Hindu institutions and all. Because some 3 days back, Hindu Seva Kendram state organizing secretary posted a Facebook post, and he shared some picture of pigs. So night, some 24 policemen came in midnight and taken him to illegal custody, and they were not ready to share the location or any whereabouts about him. So then we had to move to the court and all. This is all. See, one Naxalite activist put some post against Pinarayi Vijayan, and they booked her under 153. Our organizing secretary and Hindu activist, whoever it is, he posted some pics picture and telling nothing that this artist is very good. So he has been booked under 153A, and they grilled him under non-bailable offenses. So this is the way Pinarayi is going to the appeasement, to the extreme appeasement. So they know that the changing of demography will directly affect democracy. So voting pattern. So communist is almost 30 to 35% of office bearers of CPM party is today Muslims. So they are going in all the way to appease them, and for that they are attacking Hindu activists and Hindu institutions. That's what's happening in Kerala.
You know, you bring up an interesting perspective, and I'm going to defer to Dr. Vishwanath. Dr. Vishwanath, how do you see, because you also are connected and you're seeing it from outside, is there such intolerance for anything that might offend the sensibilities of Muslims?
Can you clarify, please?
What I'm trying to say is that how can somebody just putting a Facebook post, you know, with a picture of a pig be so offensive that he has to be taken under questioning under the non-bailable, as a non-bailable offense? It seems like it's a little drastic, don't you think?
Well, it is a clearly political move. There's nothing to do with the law or justice. It is clearly meant, as Pratheesh said, to intimidate the Hindu Karyakartas, because no Karyakartas, no Hinduism. Hinduism survives only because of ground level Karyakartas, including people like Pratheesh. Otherwise, Hinduism will not survive. So, taking out a Hindu Karyakarta is a major blow to Hinduism, and they know it. So, that is number one. Number two is to appease the Islamic vote bank ahead of the elections. And of course, the ruling chief minister, his daughter is under investigation and could be arrested any day for all kinds of irregularities. And this would serve as a way to somehow bypass or take the public attention away and kind of spread it out a little bit. But the truth is, going after Hindu activists is a favorite pastime of the left government, because they know it, because there are only so many Hindu activists on the ground. And if you threaten them, if you intimidate them, if you put them in jail, if you torture them, it will set back the cause of Hindu Dharma a lot. And that is where they act. See, I can write books criticizing them. I can do a lot of lecture series against all of this stuff. And I can do a lot of yagas and yajnas. They will leave me alone. But the moment I go on the ground and help ordinary Hindus, tell them not to convert, tell them to stay strong, then I am a target. That is when a Hindu gets targeted, because they fear the Hindu activists. That is the truth, in my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Before I come to the next question, Pratheesh, do you want to answer?
I want to add something on this, because the left political party, especially CPM, is taking some drastic step against Hindu activists. There is another reason. Hindu Seva Kendra was doing Seva activities only for last 2 years. But last 3 months back, we have taken an issue in our hand that we have decided to go to the street and go to the public by demanding the free Hindu temples from the government clutches. So then we are normally, people will do debate, people will go to court, people will discuss, and all the things they will do for freeing the Hindu temples from the government. That agenda, everybody is pushing it. But till today, nobody has gone to the street by demanding it. So Hindu Seva Kendra has organized 3 programs in Kerala last 3 months, Malappuram, Trivandrum and Ernakulam. The politics of this is, we have done it as a Hindu point of view, without any politics, without any caste or nothing. But the thousands of people came on the street, and most of them are from backward Hindu community, especially SC, ST and OBC, which is the traditional vote bank of CPM. So the normal Hindus, SC, ST and OBC Hindus, which they were suppressing in last almost 60 to 70 years, they came out and holding a saffron flag in their hand and demanding the Hindu temples free movement, and that has been hurt heavily on CPM, and they realized that their vote bank is slowly changing, and they started thinking, and this issue may get into big trouble for CPM. So that's also another reason that now recently they are going after all our Hindu Seva Kendram Karyakartas also.
So, I find it very strange, Dr. Vishwanath and Pratheesh ji, that this thing about a cartoon about a pig has been used as a pretext to arrest the Hindu Seva Kendra person. I want to show you a £5 note. This is a £5 note. This is printed in United Kingdom. And it has Elizabeth's picture and Churchill's picture. You know why? You are wondering, right? Why am I showing you a £5 note? This is a plastic note. Regains its shape. I did this.
Okay.
It regains its shape. It's plastic, and it has a coating of pig fat on it. Completely coated, both sides, pig fat. So, are you telling me, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, that anybody who talks about this in United Kingdom is going to be jailed? What kind of a bullshit idea do you have in mind? You think by doing this that you are going to get the Muslim vote? You think Muslims are that stupid? So what do you think the Muslims are doing in UK? They're not using this note? Come on now, what nonsense. These guys have to wake up and smell the coffee. Anyway, the people have to speak. I have just made one simple observation here. And if people want to stay dumb and say, okay, whatever the mosque says, whatever the mullah says, I'm going to vote. Whatever the Metran church says, I'm going to go and vote the way. Stay stupid, stay dumb. Tomorrow it's going to be washed over. That's what is going to happen. That's all I can say. In conclusion, Pratheesh ji, I just want to know, now the elections are coming up, how do things look for various parties? Do you think that this time in Lok Sabha, the CPM front is going to be sweeping it? Or do you think the LDF can, not LDF, the other one, the INC-led front, are they going to be able to make a UDF? UDF, right?
Both are same, India Alliance.
India
Alliance. Each other.
But then, see, this is the strange thing. Are they not competing against each other?
Yes, only in Kerala.
Only in Kerala. I mean, this is such a...
Gusti in Kerala, Dosti in Delhi.
Yeah, so it is just, bundle of contradictions. But how do things look for Lok Sabha this year, Pratheesh ji?
Lok Sabha election left us lost their political backup and image completely. So that's why they are doing all this drama to get the votes from different religion, appeasing them, and all those things they are doing because they have lost the political subjects and political agendas are not there. And ideology they lost long back. So counter to that, Congress may get some benefit. But there is a strong undercurrent and wave in favor of Narendra Modi's image, especially after Pran Pratishtha. Cutting across the politics and caste, there is a good image for Narendra Modi ji. How it will be turned out as a vote or whether BJP is able to consolidate it, that's the election has to come, the results has to speak. So I think BJP may get some increase of vote share and there may be a chance of getting 1 or 2 seats also this time. That's what I feel.
And let's hope that 1 or 2 seats is not because Dr. Shashi Tharoor defects to BJP. That will be the ultimate insult. Anyway, this is just my comments. I have seen stranger things happen. But gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this platform. Viewers, I hope you understood what the situation is in Kerala. I did not know that the newborns have actually crossed, that the Muslim newborns have crossed Hindus. This is not good. I've been saying this for a while now, that there has to be a balance in the population. It cannot grow this way. And I've also hinted as to what is the possible reason. And those of you who understand this, you can put in by way of comments what I'm hinting at, what Dr. Vishwanath ji is hinting at, what Pratheesh ji is hinting at, and how this needs to really stop. A woman is not a machine that can produce babies. You have to treat a woman with respect. Sorry, I'm being a little harsh here, but Dr. Vishwanath, would you like to add something before we sign off this episode?
No, I think the real answer is Hindus have to take care of themselves.
Yes.
Hindus at the end of the day have to come out of their ivory towers, their PhD towers, their MD towers, their MBA towers, and come to the ground. Only there their existence is safe. If the ground is not secured, if ordinary Hindus are not protected, then all of the extraordinary Hindus will be the first ones to be eliminated. All the extraordinary Hindus will be eliminated first. So it is in everybody's best interest to go to the ground and help out ordinary Hindus. That's where our future safety is.
Thank you so much. Pratheesh ji, thank you so much for taking your valuable time to sit with us and talk about this. And more power to you, more power to Hindu Seva Kendram. And we'll be back again. I think we are going to have a couple more episodes in the near future. Thanks once again. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri Ram.
Jai Sri Ram.